Do you know how to construct and deconstruct a URL, programmatically, removing duplicate and/or specific query parameters, while ensuring the uniformity of the final string?
I'm having difficulty deconstructing half of what you just said.
Okay, let me explain. A URL, or Uniform Resource Locator, is a reference to a web resource that specifies its location on a computer network, and a mechanism for retrieving it. A URL is actually a specific type of Uniform Resource Identifier, although many people use the two terms interchangeably. The first part of a URL is known as the protocol. Example protocols are HTTP, HTTPS, GET, or FTP. The next part of the URL is known as the subdomain. Most websites on the internet don't have any subdomain at all, so this part is usually omitted. The next part of the URL is the domain name. Domain names are obtained from a domain registrar such as GoDaddy, and often end in .com, .org, or .net. Everything after the domain name is optional, depending on the configuration of the server configured to respond to the URL. After the domain is the path. Paths are determined by the directory structure of a web server. After the path are query strings. Query strings are identified by a question mark and are separated by an ampersand. On the World Wide Web, a query string is the part of a Uniform Resource Locator which assigns values to specified parameters. The query string commonly includes fields added to a base URL by a web browser or other client application, for example as part of an HTML form.
Okay, to answer your original question, no, I don't know how to construct and deconstruct a URL, programmatically, removing duplicate, and/or specific query parameters, while ensuring the uniformity of the final string.
By the end of this video, you'll know how to do exactly that. Hello computer programmers, and welcome back to another episode of
Wow! How'd you code that?
If you are new to this channel, hit the like button, followed by the subscribe button, and make sure you hit that notification bell to be notified each time we upload unique content like this. In today's challenge, we're writing a method that takes a URL as a string, removes duplicate query parameters, and parameters specified within the second argument, which will be an optional array, and returns a URL as a string. If there are duplicate query parameters with different values, we'll use the value of the last occurring parameter. Our solution requires a string builder, a hash map, and a linked hash set. First, we determine if the incoming URL contains a question mark. If the incoming string doesn't contain a question mark, it doesn't require deconstruction, and the original string is returned to the caller. Next, we initialize an array, named parts, which will contain two elements, as strings. The first element is the first half of the incoming URL, up to the question mark. And the second element is the second half of the incoming URL, after the question mark. Next, we instantiate a string builder, containing the contents of the first half of the incoming URL. Next, we initialize another array, named Params, which consists of each parameter contained within the second half of the incoming URL, denoted by the second element of the parts array, which is split by an ampersand. Next, we define a hash map, containing strings as both keys and values. For each parameter in our params array, we split the string by an equal sign, and put the leftmost value in our map as the key, and the rightmost value as the value. Next, we instantiate a linked hash set, named strip. When the call to our method contained a second argument, an array of parameters to be stripped from the incoming URL, the linked hash set is loaded with the values from the params to strip array. Next, we append a question mark to our string builder, and initialize a counter variable to 1. Next, we determine, for each key in our hash map, whether it is 1 to be removed. If it's not, and this is our second or greater occurrence of a valid parameter, an ampersand is appended to our string builder. Next, the key is appended to the string builder, followed by an equal sign, followed by the value of the parameter. Next, our counter variable is incremented by 1. When all keys have been evaluated, the string builder variable is converted to a string, and returned to the caller. We hope you found this video helpful. If so, please comment below. If not, well, comment below, nicely. We hope to see you in the next episode of
Wow! How'd you code that?